Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop, howdy. I'm going to try another piece of the Alder today. This one will be a live edge. The bark looks really sound on here. I don't think it's going to come off. Shouldn't give us any problems. It can be a really pretty wood. I'm looking forward to turning this into a bowl. It's about 11-inch diameter, roughly, and about 4 inches at the highest point. So let's get this mounted up on the lathe and get to turning. I used a Forstner bit to clear out an area, so it'll be a flat mount on my jaws. And then I drilled a 5/16 inch hole, and we're going to screw it onto the 3/8 inch woodworm screw. Nice tight fit. Currently we're going to be turning at about 600 RPM because it is out of balance. Mask and face shield on, 5/8 inch bowl gouge. Okay, we've got it round, but because we've got 2 low spots and 2 high spots, it's just not going to be in balance, at least for a while. So I will go back to the bottom here, flatten it off, make a tenon, decide on a shape. Okay, and let's mark out for the tenon. Give us something to work towards. I think we're just going to do a large sweeping bowl. Small base down here and sweep the rest of it up. So let me arrange the tool rest for that. We'll just start working this corner away. See if I can pick the speed up now, Amy. No, it's just not happy. About 640. Yeah, it's pretty wood. It does have some bug holes and some smallish cracks. I don't see any real big problems. I've mentioned time and time again that I'm not an artist, and I don't have an artist's eye, and I just turn until something looks good. I don't really plan a lot of my stuff, and I just came in from lunch, or came back from lunch, and when I came out, the piece was sitting just like this. I did just fill this crack with some CA, but that's not what I'm talking about. The light was off, and it probably doesn't show for you with the light off. But I came out and I'm just standing here looking at it as I was zipping up my jacket, and there's this line here. I guess it's a tool mark, I don't know. You know, I'm just roughing this out. I haven't really done anything. And it kind of creates a shadow, and it gave me the idea that, boy, I should make a foot on this. So I'm going to take my 1/2 inch. I've been using the 5/8. I'm going to take my 1/2 inch bowl gouge and come in here and create a cove so that this will be the base, and it'll go in here and then out and then straight up. I just think it'll look good, but it's something I hadn't thought about doing. I was just going to make straight sides on here, maybe a curved side, whatever, but I wasn't going to do this. But simply because of that shadow, it's causing me to create an actual design. What do you know? Surprise to me too. Happens once in a while. Back to work on my tenon. I'm just going to use this diamond point tool to create flat sides on the tenon. Okay, I believe we're ready for sanding. Uh-oh. Dang it, that's my fault. I pressed too hard. Gotta be careful. I'll get another one. I can fix this too. Maybe I should show you how I fix these. When you want to fix one of these things, you do not want to put super glue all over this. You want to put it here. If you put it all over this, you're going to have one hard mess. And I know that from experience. So you just want to put it all over the thin side, paying special attention to the edges out here. This is about the worst I've ever done one of these, and I did it so casually. Usually it's dramatic when this happens. And then you just take it well saturated like that and place it in the vise or between something. And you don't want to squish down because same reason, you don't want to spread that glue down into the soft part, and just let it set there. So in about 5 minutes that'll be good as new. But I don't have 5 minutes, I got to get to sanding. So you saw me sanding. I'm starting with 80 grit. I'm going to work up through 400 grit. I'm going to alternate between the lathe being in reverse and the lathe being forward. Boy, that's smoking, isn't it? Ooh-wee. Gonna mess up my air. And I'll bring you back when it's time to, well, I don't know, either put some sanding sealer on there or turn it around and hollow it out. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this one. I might want to take it in the house and microwave it because there are some bug holes. So that's how you fix one of these. It's simple, it works every time. It can last for months repaired like that. See you in a bit. It's all sanded and microwaved and resanded, and now I'm going to take it back off the woodworm screw and turn it around. I decided I'm going to put Howard Feed and Wax on here. That's a product that I didn't have much confidence in when I first got it, and I didn't really use it that often, but I've been using it more and more lately, and I have a lot more confidence in it than I did. And my four-legged square bowl that I did out of walnut a while back, that has probably had the most handling of any piece I've ever done, because people just love that and they can't help but pick it up and mess with it. And it still looks great. It just looks great. I thought I'd try it on here. I really like, excuse me, sorry. I really like using it because it's easy. It's quick. It's easy, dries fast, and this time of year, it's November now, and it's getting a little chilly. It's probably about 48 degrees out here right now. Tomorrow's supposed to be colder. I can't get sanding sealer and shellac, or whatever other finish I might want to put on. I can't get them to dry quickly enough. It takes hours. So I'm gonna try the Howard Feed and Wax on here and see if I get the same good finish that I got with that walnut bowl. So let me get my 5/8 inch bowl gouge sharpened up again and get my mask and face shield on, and we'll get to hollowing this piece out. Well, I just can't do much with this tailstock here, so I guess we'll take it off. So I need to clean up this edge before I go much deeper. I need the support of what's in the center here. So I'm just going to do a few pull cuts to try and clean this cut up. Maybe I could scrape it. Didn't make it any worse, but I'm not sure it helped much. A little bit, maybe. So I moved my tool rest so that I can work on just like this portion right here. I want to get that thinned down, cleaned up, and I'll scrape it just like I did up here because that did work pretty well. That way we'll just work our way down because there's going to be some flex. Turning at 1,000 RPM, these walls might not look thin, but it gets thin just below the top right here. It must be probably not more than 3/16 of an inch right there. So I'm just going to work in this area right here, scrape it, then we'll clean out the center and work our way on down so we don't have to deal with the flex out here. Yep, that's good. We'll scrape it. See, I don't want to come back out here anymore. I'm just working my way down about an inch at a time, and that's good. So we'll go back to the center. I better get out my calipers and see how we're doing. So I can't reach that deep anymore. Yep, 3/16 from right there all the way to there. Out here it's more like 1/2 inch, but that's the way it has to be. So I'll scrape that. Yeah, that's got it. Just for fun, I'm going to check the bottom. I know I've got a ways to go, but, well, not that far. Right there, I'm about 1/2 inch at the bottom, so we're almost there. All right, I believe we're done. Well, except for the fun part, sanding. You ready for sanding? Me neither. So that's what it's going to look like for the next hour or so while I sand this, starting with 80 grit, work up through 400, and then we're going to try the Howard feed and wax inside and out on this piece. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to look great. See you back here in just a bit. Well, I guess one drawback to this alder is the bark is not the most beautiful in the world. It can be pretty nice, but a lot of times it's like this, just kind of pale yellow, whatever. This toothbrush is working pretty good. I've already done the outside of the bowl, and I'm just about to do the inside here. It doesn't have too many bug holes in it, not like a lot of pieces that I do, but there are a few, and I just like to fill them in, try and get an even color. And then when I buff this, I'll take a clean toothbrush and buff it out of these holes and buff the bark with the clean toothbrush. About all you can really do. I do like the dark part of the bark. Okay, so I'm gonna let this set up for about a half an hour, and I'll come out here and buff it up, and I'll bring you back when it's time to turn this around and remove that tenon. We're just about done, boys and girls. See you in a bit. Okay, all buffed up. I'm gonna mount a small block of wood in my chuck here. We'll just tighten that up. And I'm going to put a piece of non-slip material over that, and then the bowl. Bring up the tailstock. I still have my hole there for reference, so we'll just tighten the live center into that. Tool rest in place. We'll grab a half-inch bowl gouge. I'll bring you in a little tighter, and we'll just start removing that tenon. About 600-700 RPM is what I like to usually do. Then I'm just going to take my homemade point tool and emphasize this circle. Just like that. Okay, and I will bring you in a little tighter and we'll finish removing that tenon. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I like to remove the tenon entirely on the lathe. Sometimes that can be a problem. See this here? Bug hole. And over here there's another real small one. That can cause this to disintegrate before I'm ready for it to. I'd like to just remove it in one piece, but sometimes it'll just disintegrate on me and I don't have much choice. So I'm going to slow this down to about 200 RPM. I'm going to take a 3/8 inch swept back bowl gouge. I'm going to place the bevel against the bottom of the bowl. And I'm going to apply pressure towards the bottom of the bowl, towards the headstock. Right hand on the gouge, left hand on the switch. And when that little nub stops turning, then we know we're done. And it did break off. But it did not get away from me, and that's because I was using such a slow speed. So now I will take this over here to the workbench and sand it up. Well, there it is. One live edge Alder bowl in the books. I wish it all looked like that. The bottom finished up pretty good, except I got my Alder off center. Oh well. And those bug holes are still there. But it finished up nicely. If you like this video, thumbs up please. I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about one a week, and I'd like to keep in touch. Your comments are always welcome, and I read and respond to all of them. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.